Hey everyone, Allie here, and welcome to my first book haul. I've never done one of these, and I'm super excited to show everyone the books that I got this Christmas and the books that I bought for myself. I don't buy a lot of books, so this is like my first time buying like a boatload of books. So for me, the books that I have right now, for me that is a lot of books that I got. To me, this is a lot. So the first book that I got for Christmas was Psych's Guide to Crime Fighting for the Totally Unqualified. And I've been wanting this book for a really long time. And it's supposed to be a book from the show series Psych. And if you haven't seen Psych, you should totally check it out. It's about a guy who pretends to be a psychic and works for the Santa Barbara Police Department. And he solves crimes with his best friend Gus. And I find it extremely hilarious, the show, and the book is no exception. I actually read some of it. It's not that hard to read. The text is pretty big itself, so, there's a lot of, graphs and little things on how they solve crime. But it's mainly just a spoof book, and it's really funny even the dedications are funny. They're written from the main characters' point of view. It's the actors, but they wrote the book themselves. The actors wrote them as their characters. And it has it's funny. It's funny. It has it's really funny. And from the introduction, from the back, it's how to set up your totally bitchin' office where Wednesday is ladies' night. It's just the back is completely hilarious, and I was super excited to get this book, and I finally found it. These next few books that I got, I purchased from Half Price Books, and there was a sale going on, and I got them for $3.99 each, which was super exciting because they were originally $4.99. And so the first one I got from that sale was The Geography of Me and You. I heard a lot of great things about this, and it's supposed to be a contemporary romance, and I'm not really big with contemporary romances. I can read them, but I'm just not really a huge fan of them. But I heard a lot of good things about this one, and it's supposed to be about these two people who meet in an elevator and get stuck there for a while, and then they want to start something, but they move to different sides of the globe, so they have to figure out how to work that out, I guess. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm really looking forward to reading this book. I'll probably read it in February when everything is Valentine's Day, happy love, and things like that. So I'll probably read it then, and I'll let you know what I think of it when I finish it. The next book that I bought for myself was Momentum 14, and it's about 16 kids, I believe, that get stuck at a superstore, like a Walmart or a Costco's or a Target, and they get stuck there when they're evacuated out of the city. So they're a couple kids that get stuck there, and I'm really excited to read this book because it has some realism to it, and it kind of gets you. It's one of those kind of get you thinking books. Ooh, if I was stuck at a Walmart, what would I do? Would I really have all the food I want, or would I have would I have to what would I have to go through if I was stuck in a Walmart? And that's kind of one of those things that I like to think about. It's one of those things where you're what would I do in this situation? And I think this book is perfect, and I may actually get on this book. This book might be the first one I read this year because I'm kind of intrigued by it, and because the cover looks kind of dark and ominous kind of thing, and it's kind of what it looks like outside right now. It's kind of dark and cloudy outside, so I may read this within the next week. The next book that I bought was A Codename Verity, and I heard a lot of good things about this book as well, and I wanted to see what all the hype was about. And it's supposed to be about a pilot in World War II gets captured, and they try to torture them for information. And I love historical fiction, and it's been a while. The last historical fiction I read has been, I don't remember. I think it might have been this book called George Washington's Socks that I read back in middle school. That might have been the last historical fiction that I read. So I'm excited to read this one, and I'm a huge fan about reading World War II type stories, and it's probably one of my favorite parts to learn about history, World War II, and how, the U.S. got into it, and even how the European states were fighting for it or against it. And so it's one of my favorite eras to learn about. So this book might be a really good one for me to get into. And I may get into this after or at the same time I'm reading Momentum. So it just depends on how I feel about it when I'm reading these books. The next book that I got was Replica. And this was definitely one that I had to have a physical copy of because you have to like flip for one story for Gemina's side of the story, and you had to flip for the other side for Lyra's story. And it was one of those that you just had to own because you could read it many ways, and you just kind of have to have it because it has a pretty cover, and I love butterflies. And I'm excited to get into this. I may actually read this one after Momentum 14, and so, or I may read it in conjunction with it. Like I may read Momentum 14 and Codename Verity and Replica all at the same time. If I can try to do that, I'll try my best to get to them. And I hope to finish them by February so I can get to my contemporary romance novels that I got. So, yeah. This was one. So, the next book that, actually this one's the one that I got for Christmas. The next book that I got for Christmas was Everything Leads to You. And I'm kind of excited to read this one because it has a nice cover. I really like it. And it deals with someone who's in Los Angeles. I know very little about this book, I'm sorry. But I know that it's a contemporary romance, and it takes place in Los Angeles, and it's about a girl trying to find her way. And like, I think that's one of the many arcs that always occurs in young adult novels, is someone trying to find their way. And so that's why I'm kind of excited to read this version of someone trying to find their way. And it's probably one of the few contemporary romance novels that I have. So I'm excited to add this one to the list. And so I'm just going to stop it right there. And the final book that I got for Christmas was Specials. And it's actually the third book in the Uglies trilogy or quadrilogy. I don't know if you count extras as the fourth book. But I got this one. This one completes my series because I have Pretties, I have Uglies back at college. I have Uglies and Extras at college, and Pretties here, but I didn't have Specials. And it's the third book, so I really can't tell you what it's about, but I can tell you what Uglies is about. And Uglies is one of my first dystopians that I read, and it's a dystopian where once you turn 16, you get plastic surgery, and they basically give you a whole new look, and you look completely different. But there's something behind it, what the people who run these operations don't tell you is that there's something goes wrong with you. There's something how do I explain it? I'm going to start that over again. The final book that I got for Christmas was Specials, and Specials is actually the third book in the Uglies series. I'm not sure if you'd count Extras as that because I haven't really read Extras, so I don't know if it counts as part of a series or if it's a trilogy, but I consider it a trilogy until I read Extras. But I can't tell you what Specials is about without spoiling the series for you. So, but I can tell you what Uglies is about, and Uglies is a dystopian where once you turn 16, you get plastic surgery and you become pretty. And what those people who run the operations don't tell you is that there are certain health risks that happens when you get the surgery. It's a spoiler if I tell you, so I won't spoil it anymore. But you have to kind of read it to find out, and it's actually really interesting. It's perfect if you like dystopians and science fiction. I loved it. It was one of the first dystopians that I read before The Hunger Games, so I definitely recommend to pick up that series if you haven't already. So that was all the books that I got for Christmas this year, and let me know what you guys got for Christmas, and if you guys can recommend me any books that I should get into this year, because I definitely want to get into more reading this year. And so let me know any new books, and if you liked any of the books that I actually got, if you read them before, let me know let me know what you think of them down in the comments. So as always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you soon.